So today I'm going to be doing a evening kind of redhead kind of rocker kind of look. I don't know, I kind of just put everything kind of together. And it's also got summer in there as well, so it's in the lips, so kind of like evening eyes and then summery lips, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so here we go. First I'm going to be taking a MAC 190 foundation. Actually no, I'm going to be taking a Real Technique stippling brush to apply my primer with. I don't know why I like applying it with this, I just really like it. This is Gosh Foundation Primer in Classic. I really like this primer so much. It just, because I've already used it for an evening look, which is the same evening look I'm going to be using here. So I recently went out for my mum's birthday, and this is basically the look that I did, but I had brown hair, so it's obviously going to look a little bit more different, but okay, now it's all blended in. Now I'll be taking my MAC 190 brush and I'm going to be applying the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum in colour 15. I think this is the lightest shade. That's what I went for when I went, because I've got ridiculously pale recently. So I'm just going to start at the centre of my face and then just kind of work it out. I always find that when doing my makeup, a lot of girls have the really like zooming in mirrors, but I like to have mine fairly far away so that I don't, you know, I mean, I might be covering up blemishes that people aren't even going to see. So, because no one really gets that close to you really, unless it's like your boyfriend who's going to come in to kiss you or something, but even then he's not going to really notice unless it's quite a big spot or blemish or scar or whatever. So I like to use quite a long way away mirror, because then not only you're only saving concealer, but you're just being realistic with yourself. Like this is what people are going to see when they go out, not like this tiny little blemish or spot. I have to say, I really do like this wig though, and this foundation brush. This one's so much more different than the other 190 brush that my friend has, and I like this one so much more better. But the wig I got today from Gigi's, which is this one, if you watched my earlier video from today, it's really nice, and it looks a lot more real than the other wigs that I have. Let me know if you would want a review on all my wigs, by the way, because where I live I don't know anywhere like on YouTube where I'll search Gigi's wigs review when I've wanted to get them before, and I couldn't find them at all, so I just kind of had to try out and kind of just go for it and see if I could find anything, and I just had to deal with the ones that I don't like and everything, because there wasn't a review. So if anybody's interested in getting them and they want to get them from Gigi's, then let me know. So I'm going to start on eyebrows next, and I'm going to go for the number 6 Art Deco one, and I have to admit I've just used this sharpener, which is from Superdrug's own brand. It doesn't have a name or a number or anything, it's just their own brand, and these pencils are ridiculously hard to sharpen. I'm going to try it later on with my concealer sticks, and if it does that, then it's just perfect for me because I can't find anything that will sharpen these little buggers because they're just so difficult. So I'm just gonna, what I usually have a little, here we go, here it is, and I kind of just brush them down so I can see where this little arch is. Now mine usually looks something like that. I need to kind of blend that in a little bit. But I haven't done anything to them lately. I haven't tweezed them and I haven't cut them because I usually pull them up and then I cut them with some scissors to keep them kind of in line. And I haven't done any of that lately, so they're kind of getting a little bit unruly, which I need to do after this. I really like our eyebrows looking quite natural, which is why I go for a lighter colour, because my natural colour is, well, not my natural, but the colour underneath this is black, and I don't like putting black on my eyebrows because then people can easily see that they are drawn in and things, so I usually go for quite a light colour on my eyebrows because I am naturally blonde, so I like to keep them still quite natural, because I don't like the harshly drawn on brows, but I really do need to tweeze them. Hi, so just come back, I've just done one half of one eye, so this is what it's going to look like at the end, hopefully. So I'm just going to run you through how I did that. Okay, so the first thing I did was, I've got my little number 7 palette here, which unfortunately I cracked not long ago. But this one's called Twilight, and it's a Stay Perfect Trio eyeshadow palette. And I absolutely love this palette because it just does all the evening stuff and it just looks really nice. So the first one I'm going to take is a MAC 275, which looks like that. And I'm just going to take the silver, which is the middle one here. Remember to always kind of like tap it off, because otherwise you get like a lot of fall down and you really don't want that. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to take that to the middle of my eyelid first. Now I think the best thing for these looks is time, because if you rush something like this and you don't blend it properly or something like that, it's just never going to look right, and you could come out the house and just everything's everywhere. So that's the one problem with looks like this. But once you've really got the hang of it, you start to pick it up faster and faster and faster, which is always handy. So the next one I'm going to take is just a little brush from that brand, and it just kind of looks like that. It's just like a small little fluffy brush, and I always use it to do the outside corners because it's not an angle brush. Most people use angle brushes, but I get along with this one just a lot more better because it kind of blends as it goes, so it makes my job a lot more easier. And I just kind of take that up to my crease, so kind of like in a little triangle. Now the best thing to do with this is to kind of just build up colour. Like, you don't want to just kind of put loads of it on all at once, because then that could either be really hard to blend or just a bit of a hassle, to be honest. So, and it just it can just look like everything's everywhere, and that's not what we want. We want it to kind of just look like you've taken ages and ages and ages on this makeup, but it could have only taken you, well, it depends on how good you are at makeup, to be honest. If you do this look all the time, then obviously it will take less and less. So I'm just going to leave that, and then I'm just going to take, this is my dupe to a 217 brush, but it's my Coastal Scents one in 250. And this one usually would be clean, I would use a clean one. But my 217's dirty at the moment, so I'm not going to use one. But it still works as well, because these brushes don't get dirty very quickly like other brushes. Okay, and I'm just going to take what's left on my tiny fluffy brush. I'm just going to tilt my head down, and then I'm just going to push that underneath my bottom lash line, and then I'm going to take my fluffy brush, and then I'm just going to go over that, because you don't want to look like you've got a black eye. Next I'm going to take my eyeshadow blend and contour brush, that's a number 7 one. It looks like this. It's not really good as a blending brush, where's my, oh there it is. To be honest, I usually just use it for either pushing on the one that I used at first, where it's in the middle, or what I'm going to use it for now, and that's just in the tear duct. I think it works brilliant here because it's just that in that perfect shape, and it's really soft. So even if you manage to catch yourself, it won't hurt you, and it's just a really sensitive brush. I'm just going to take the clean side of this brush and just kind of dab it, so there's not like any coming down here. There might be a little bit here, but I'm going to clean that up with some concealer later on. And then finish with that one, I'm just going to add some of this Rimmel London palette in 21 Grace of State of Grace. Taylor Swift song. And then I'm just going to take this colour here, which is right at the top. It's like a glittery silver, but I'm just going to take most of that off. And I'm just going to put that in here. Sorry if you can hear screaming and chatting, that's my neighbours. I can hear it, I don't know if you can. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to eyeliner. And I've kind of got, I was going to do a Kat Von D one, which is like the really out one, and it goes straight back in again. But I decided not to. The one I'm going to be using, the one I have used, is the Art Deco Long Lasting Liquid Liner in number 1, which I have fallen in love with because it's so, it dries quickly, and it's the tip stays kind of like you first bought it. It stays new, rather than my Bourjois one, which is kind of like frayed at the top, if you can see that. But this one is a very, very good one. These are my two ones that I would recommend, which are cheaper, which is the Bourjois liner feature and the number 7 Stay Precious felt tip liner. But this one does look, it's got a brown lid on it, so don't let it fool you, it is black. So I'm just going to take that on the middle first. Make sure if you've got curvy lashes that you kind of get over them and really kind of push them down and get in there, because if you don't, there could be like another line there. Now that part's probably the most difficult part with felt tip liner. Very, very easy with gel liner, but with felt tip that bit can be the most hardest, so once you've got past that bit, you're in a winner. And that's around about where it should look like. I know they're not probably perfectly even. None of them will be like, you know, I can get it pretty much near enough completely even if I'm working on someone else. When I'm working on myself, it's obviously a lot more difficult. And there will always be bits like that. I know that's a lot more roundabout saying. But as long as they're, you know, pretty much near enough the same, then you should be fine. This is the Barry M Intense Black Mascara 3-in-1. That's what it says. This is what it looks like. And this one is pretty much the dupe of Dita Von Teese in number 1. I don't know. This the only difference is obviously this looks prettier and it's like a more curvier one, so it curls your lashes as well. But on length and the fact that you don't really get any clumps is the same. So there you're done for eyes. Next thing I'm going to move on to is blush. And this one is just in number 6, and this is the Maybelline one. Try to smile when you're putting this on, and you know, don't put obviously too much on because then you could end up looking like a China doll. And what I usually do is, because that always looks a little bit too harsh, I usually take my foundation brush, which is here, and I usually go over it. Okay, so that's what your blush should look like at the end. Now I'm taking a Sleek Sculpt palette in Light 373, and it just looks like that. For the shader, I'm just going to use a MAC 168, which looks like that. And just kind of like suck in your cheeks. And then just kind of like, once you've got that kind of near enough line there, then you just kind of use circular motions in that. If you've never done this before, then sucking in your cheeks is a really good starter point, because that shows where they are. If you're putting on a powder blush, start off the apples of the cheeks and then work up towards the temple in circular motions with a usual small powder brush. And then after that, I'm going to use a Real Techniques setting brush for my highlighter, because I feel like with this brush I can really get a precise point where I want my highlighter. So I'm just going to put that on the top of the cheekbones and up here on the brow bone. Remember to not put too much, because then you could end up looking like a disco ball, to be honest. You could just kind of walk into a room and then your whole face is highlighted. I usually put it down the nose and on the forehead, just a tiny little bit, and then a tiny little bit on your cupid's bow. There. Okay, so with that done, just going to use some setting powder just to set everything in place. Oh God. This is the number 7 setting powder in translucent. I'm just going to use my blush brush for this, which is Real Techniques. Remember to always put it on your eyebrows as well, especially if, well, obviously only if you draw them in, because this can really set your eyebrows. I used to like go throughout the day and my eyebrows would like rub off. When I use setting powder on them, it doesn't. So that's just like a little trick if you didn't know it. Most people do know it, but if they don't, then there you go. New little trick to tell your friends. So now I'm just going to go in, well actually I don't really need to use concealer, but if I was going to use concealer, I would use the Art Deco Dita Von Teese one in colour 3, and I would just literally put it underneath my eyes here